So spin that, and if it ever stops spinning, whenever I'm slow rolling a spinnerbait in the fall, typically dirty water situations, maybe you just have too much wind or it's first thing in the morning, you want to fish your spinnerbait a little bit slower on those low light conditions. Now, I catch a lot of fish around docks this time of year on a spinnerbait, so that may be a situation where you want to slow it down a bit. But if your lake has bigger shad, I feel like a turtle blade is one of the best options. Now, if you have really small shad and that's all you're seeing, I'll go down to those really little Colorado blades, like a 3 and a 2 tandem Colorado blades. And this is what I will tell you about slow rolling. It's all about keeping that bait in contact with your line and your rod and your reel and being able to feel it at all times. So it's very important that you're feeling that, and that's why I like to go to those Colorado blades, because I need to know that those blades are still turning, because the second they stop turning, you're probably not going to get bit, and that's probably a fish on there if there's not something wrong with your spinnerbait. So it's very important to always have that feel when you're spinnerbait fishing and you're slow roll. Welcome back to the channel. Thank y'all for hanging with me on this Sunday. So on your real windy days, it's pretty simple on picking a bait. You know, as long as you're not fishing in the back of a creek or in really protected water and you're out in the open, I'm going to be throwing a spinnerbait or a lipless crankbait, or maybe some type of shallow running crankbait. But when you have a little too much chop on the water, it's hard to catch them on top water. So I really like to just lock those baits in my hand, interchange them. You can add a chatterbait in there as well, but it's all about subsurface on those really windy days. Now, I saw this on Instagram a couple days ago, and this was really intriguing to me. So with a spinnerbait, I talk a lot about fishing it in clear water and burning it, but if you don't have clear water, you got to slow it down. So I fished this way quite a bit. I know in Cumberland, Lake Cumberland in Kentucky, 5 years ago, we had the Toyota Series Championship, and I was slow rolling a spinnerbait along steeper, rockier banks. It was the winter drawdown. The lake was kind of low, and you just had to throw your spinnerbait almost on the bank and slowly fish it off, and I was catching smallmouth. Now, I want to talk about something that I learned recently with slow rolling a spinnerbait, because I think this is very important. So whatever spinnerbait you buy, I talk about a lot of different spinnerbaits. I really don't have a favorite one that I suggest to use. I try a bunch, and I've been trying a new one every couple of years for the last decade or so. Now, here's what's really cool about this. So when you're slow rolling a spinnerbait, it's very important to check your barrel swivel. So on that end of the last blade there, I can't take credit for this, but if you spin that, so spin that, and if it ever stops spinning, you need to switch out that barrel swivel and put on a different one. So as you can see there, I turn it, and it's going to keep spinning and spinning and spinning. That was a bad one, but you can see that. If there's any slow down on that, then it's going to not be the correct barrel swivel, and you need to change it. But that's when you're slow rolling, it's very important to have something that is going to be fished very slow. And if it's not spinning correctly, your spinnerbait's just not going to do what it's supposed to do, and you'll catch 5 times less fish. So I do like to slow roll a spinnerbait in the fall when I get in a little bit dirtier water. You know, not every lake is going to have that crystal clear water where you want to burn it. A lot of times you're going to slow roll it like you fish it a lot in the spring, or at least I do. It's all about that barrel swivel. Check those, because some spinnerbaits, they may have good blades, they may have good hooks, they may have good wires, but they put junky barrel swivels on there, and you're just not going to get the bites when you fish it slow. So I think that's very important to check on a spinnerbait. I can't take credit for that. I just saw that. I can't find the video that I saw it on, but it was very intriguing to me. I love to slow roll a spinnerbait, so if you do too, check that out before you make your cast. Good luck to you, and I'll see you on the water.